a folding chair. You could have just lifted it
There
up.
once was a powwow and its name was Max. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
but you
It's
wouldn't have been
all
dragging
about
the
being
chair.
powwows and things.
I don't understand what.
I don't either.
What are we
I don't
doing
get
here?
what. When was the last time we talked about Max and his power?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the week of December, 14th. Fuck, I don't care.
What is today's date?
It's December
Big Bad John?
15th.
15th.
Welcome to Pro Wrestling Throwdown. I'm Caleb Black. I feel like absolute dog shit. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams. He looks like absolute dog shit.
I also feel like dog shit.
Back in the studio with Mighty Max Fury, who is quite literally dog shit. We've also got our in-studio editor, Big Bad John, who sometimes smells like dog shit. And then we have our in-studio correspondent, Sweet Tea, who eats dog shit.
Excuse
So now that everyone's introduced to dog shit.
Something crawled up your ass. Okay.
Yeah, it's dog shit. I
thought we covered this.
I don't know why I'm shitting dog shit, but perhaps it's because
if anyone was capable of doing it, Caleb, I believe in you, brother.
Well, I believe in Joe Hendry. Luke, how's your Sunday?
It's wrestling day.
True. Mighty Max Fury, back in the habit, part 2, the revenge. How are you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I went hiking the other day and I saw a wolf.
Yeah? Was it a big wolf?
Where?
Yes, it
Where
was.
did you see it?
Hmm?
Where?
No, the regular kind.
Was it a
You
bad
should be
wolf?
ashamed of yourself. Did it sing songs in the key of harmony?
Did it huff and puff and blow your house down?
If
Was
I
it
had a house,
brown?
I would've.
Did it eat Goldilocks and her grandma?
Did it have big old
Hey,
tooths?
you know what I've always wondered?
What's that?
Is the big bad wolf that ate Goldilocks and her grandma the same big bad wolf who blew the Three Little Pigs house down?
Yes.
Or are there two separate big bad wolves?
Well,
I'm
hold
sure
on.
they
Which?
are,
Well,
but
now wait.
those
If
particular
there's
stories
two, which one of them would technically be considered the big bad wolf? There would be a big bad wolf, and
And
there
a
would be
smaller
a
So
smaller
wolf.
bad wolf.
Or
Yeah.
do we need to have a fight for them to figure out who the big,
The
I
biggest,
think-
baddest wolf.
I
Yes.
think they're the same.
Okay.
You know who I
Okay.
vote for?
What's that?
Conan.
Oh, yeah. Wait, did I say Goldilocks and not Little Red Riding Hood?
No, you said Goldilocks, yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
it's
Goldilocks
Little Red
and the
Riding
grandma.
Yeah, the
It's
Bears.
Goldilocks and the Bears, that's
Can
right.
I go for
Speaking of
G-Man?
Bears, Big Bad John, how's your Sunday?
My Sunday's going good.
Good. Care to elaborate?
I
I love setting him up for that joke. Don't take it away from it. Sweet Tea, how's your Sunday?
You know, eat shit and die.
Slowly working on it. All right, well. Morning, fuckers. Feel like crap. I gotta go to work.
Krampus is here.
So you're saying you feel like dog
Look
shit?
at that.
Oh, man.
See how special he is? See, we have.
Why is Krampus tonguing your face?
He likes me, I guess.
You know what the beautiful part about that is? Every single region of the world has their own version of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Except for Eastern Europe. They have a 7-foot-tall horned demon who, instead of rewarding good children with presents,
He's from Nicaragua.
kidnaps children and hits them with
He's
switches.
Santa's brother.
Hey, he's Nicaraguan.
Santa's actually the original legend of Krampus is that Saint Nick imprisoned Krampus and forced him to go on the sleigh with him, who would then, for some reason, Santa would bring this prisoner of war into people's homes.
Oh, now
and
hold
let
on.
him hit
Hold on.
bad
Wait a
kids
minute.
with
Hold on.
switches.
Hold on. Old
Use
white
it
man taking something of different color and making a slave out of it and making it do things. I'd never even
Yeah,
seen
never
that
heard of
coming.
it.
Not
You
this
know-
country.
Has nothing to do with the Oompa Loompas that make toys.
Do you know how Santa Claus the legend spread so far across the world? And this
You're
again
gonna tell
Coca-Cola
us.
is 100% true. Coca-Cola.
Yep.
They
Coca-Cola.
needed a sponsor, or they needed a character for sales because Pepsi was kicking their ass. So they took the image of Santa Claus, they patented it, and they spread it all over the world.
Not only that, but that was only because the polar bears failed.
Yeah.
Because they kept dying off. You gotta feed them.
You have to feed
They
the
didn't
polar
know
bears.
that. They weren't familiar with polar bears.
Well, who really is familiar with a polar
The
bear?
dodo bird.
The dodo bird.
Yeah, they're both either extinct or going to be extinct.
What about the dingo?
It ain't
Bingo
a
ain't my
baby.
It
baby.
ain't a baby.
Baby.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
it ain't a
much.
baby.
Hey, man, that's a true story.
Hey man,
Kid died.
kid died.
Did you know
That
that
makes
the
sense.
legend of the abominable snowman is believed to be a giant polar bear?
I did not know that.
It's,
I just always assumed it was Sasquatch.
Right, I
and
always
dandruff.
assumed it was like a
it's
white
mostly-
Sasquatch.
I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah, albino
like
one.
a brown-colored type of polar bear that's just usually covered in snow, but they walk upright and everything.
What's up,
just
Mr.
like
T?
A brown-colored
Yeah.
polar bear.
I came across that somewhere.
So everyone, in case you're still here, this is a wrestling show.
Yeah.
It is.
Hey, you know
We've
what?
we've
also-
only been talking about everything
We
but.
also do educational banter, and if you don't like it, go watch somebody else's channel. I don't give a fuck what you
I love
people
it.
think.
I love it.
Like our store.
Welcome to the Krampus
All right.
season.
Our top of the story. That one. What the hell am I even saying? Our top story, Big Bad John.
Saturday night's main event.
Yes, sir. Saturday night's main event returned after almost 20-year hiatus. The main event, of course, featured the world's heavyweight champion, the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, defending against his arch rival and nemesis, Kevin Owens. We also saw a triple threat match for the WWE World's Championship. We saw
Yes, Derek, they are.
a
Triple threat match.
crowning for the United States, the inaugural Women's United States Champion, and so much more. So let's get into it.
Well, first off, I mean, go ahead and hit us with the first one here, John. We can't go
Hi, Dad.
without talking about the first United States Women's Champion.
Yeah, buddy.
Did you see Derek's first question? He asked if Loompa Loompas and Santa's elves were distant cousins. He needs an answer.
No.
I
Oompa
don't
Loompas
believe
are
so.
from a Pacific island.
And they eat cocoa beans.
Don't tell me, tell Derek.
Yeah.
They eat cocoa beans.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they are completely separate substrates. Sort of like how the squid and octopus, even though they look similar and have similar makeup, they're completely
It's
non-related
still weird if they
genetically.
sleep with their sisters. That's what you're trying to say, right?
No. Anyway, Chelsea Green won the United States Championship.
Here's the deal. That reversal that she hit on Michin at the end,
Mm-hmm.
coming front flipping into the Unprettier,
Yeah.
sick. Also, I love the story that was told, being that the first Impact title that Chelsea ever won was against Michin.
Yep.
Also, that the first match on WWE television ever in NXT. Also
Chelsea
against
Green.
Michin.
That's right.
So there's a lot of story there.
Yeah, they've
Lot
got
of
a long history.
And now you get to add the inaugural United States
States Women's
Championship.
Championship.
Unfortunately, for Michin, she goes down in history as being the answer to a trivia question. One goes down in history as being the first champion. The other one goes down as a trivia
Person
question.
who did she beat?
Because who did she ever beat? Well,
Michin, apparently 3 times.
as of right now, Michin. And here's the deal: was the right person to win the title.
Completely
That's
agreed.
horrible.
Bailey
Why
had
put
no
her
reason,
against
no
it?
need for the championship.
No.
Tiffany Stratton's going on to bigger and better things.
And Chelsea Green not only showed a tremendous amount of improvement coming to the WWE system, but has worked her ass off and is one of the most entertaining wrestlers that SmackDown has.
And she won the title in Long Island. Woo woo
Woo,
woo.
woo, woo. You know it.
They were chanting it at
Yeah.
her in the crowd. Woo woo woo, which I thought was hilarious. That is Zack Ryder, Matt
Matt
Cardona. That was his gimmick. The woo woo woo. You know it. Well, that's Chelsea's husband.
Think he's gonna
So they
make her-
were going nuts for her in the
Think
crowd.
he's going to make her keep the belt on?
Well,
I would.
here's the deal. I mean, they like to trade belts. He got in trouble for wearing hers to a GCW
That's
event,
right.
claiming that it was the actual women's tag
Yeah.
team championship, and got Chelsea Green in a shit ton of
That's
trouble.
true. I forgot about
You remember this?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm half the women's tag
yeah.
team
And
champions
the
because
WWE
I'm
was
married.
like, the hell you are?
Yeah.
Get our belt off that. Of course, now they're like, take our belt everywhere.
That now they're like, well, we'll just send Chelsea to see you.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Big Bad John, is there a reason we're not getting the chat on the big screen?
It comes and goes from the middle of the screen. I don't know why it's not there either.
Yeah, I was
it
just
died
curious.
For a while.
Yeah.
Well, we just got another message and we didn't,
Oh,
we
I
didn't
got
get
you.
it up there, so that's
What
why
do we
I'm
got
asking.
here? Hello, Mr. Triplet. is
You
what we
saw
got.
that.
Oh,
Okay, that one.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
his just came in.
Yeah, it deletes up there
Yeah.
after time.
All right, beautiful. Well,
Hit us with the next one, Big
congratulations
Bad
to
John.
Chelsea Green.
All right, these are your winners. Together for the entire night, this
Yep.
is what it looked like.
Riv Morgan, successfully retained.
Yes, Gunther successfully retains Cody Rhodes. Basically, it was a night of nothing happened.
Yeah.
Except for Chelsea Green.
And well, Drew McIntyre.
The only but here's the deal. It no championships traded hands.
No.
So basically, it was a live show.
Yeah, but I mean,
you crowned the United States champion, so you
there
get
were
something.
some pretty great matches.
Everybody they used in promotion for the show was wrestlers who had been dead.
Yeah. So Derek just posted an interesting comment.
Yes.
We don't have it up top, but it says, here's a fun fact. Chelsea Green and her husband Matt Cardona, formerly Zack Ryder, are the only married couple who have both won the United States Championship.
Holy shit.
Because her being the inaugural women's champion would make her the very first, and Matt Cardona is a former United States champion.
That's a
himself.
very
a neat little tidbit.
heavy lineage for their family together.
Hey, wait.
Which is kind of neat.
Who's the speed champion again?
Johnny Gargano's woman,
Candice
LeRae.
LeRae. Okay.
Which she's moving on to bigger and better things with the whole Nia Jax gimmick.
Yeah. Are they only feature? I mean, I know they only feature Speed on the Speed channel.
They don't even show on X, but they don't even show she don't carry the belt to the ring.
That's what my thing is. Why doesn't she at least bring the belt around to promote the show on?
Because she only wrestles after a tournament has been finished to defend the title. It's a deal they made with X that their championship belt was exclusive
to X. Okay.
To X, so she drops hints all the time talking about, oh well, your time will come, or that's a speedy victory, or something like that. But as far as showing the belt, I wondered that too, and that is actually the reason why.
Makes sense.
But in other action, Gunther. His match with Finn Balor and Damian Priest was excellent.
Was it just me, or was Damian Priest, I don't want to say off last night, but moving slower than usual last night?
Well, I felt that the match looked like it was over-rehearsed.
It was, and I noticed, like, the double clothesline spot specifically. Gunther hits the chop, Balor hits the chop, kicks Gunther Irish whips him. They get tied up a little bit. Gunther goes for the chop. They both turn around, and Damian comes in with that double clothesline.
Right.
Damian was really slow. The clotheslines he hit, I don't know if they were in the wrong place, or maybe he's just too tall, or whatever it was. But that spot specifically, when I watched it, I was like, man, Damian. And then the other spot, Gunther had teed up Balor in the turnbuckle, and then Damian came running at him. Was again like just moving slow.
It
was over
slow
choreographed.
Well, I thought that maybe he had taken his knee out early in the match. That's when I turned to you, Sweet Tea, and I believe I said something along the lines of, it almost looked like he blew his knee coming down. He shook it off early. Yeah. But it was one of those things, he was very choppy, very robotic.
Maybe he twinged himself up a little bit.
I mean, it's live TV.
Yeah. But even Gunther, too, seemed like he was kind of off half a pace.
Well, but also, you also got to understand this match was thrown together last minute.
It was just...
that we didn't even know it was going to be a triple threat till last Monday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically, it was no promotion for the triple threat. The only thing that they promoted for the entire time was Cody and Owens and the United States Women's Title Tournament.
Yeah.
That's it. Because here's the deal. All of the matches on the card were great. The whole show in a nutshell, though, was just
Yeah.
And the reason it was because they saved the best part of the show for once the cameras went off.
Mm-hmm.
Which made no sense. Would have made it a whole lot easier. Hit us with the next one, Big Bad John.
One moment.
It really looked like Damian was unsure of what he was doing. Maybe he was a bit stiff. Yeah, something was wrong.
Yeah, 100% for sure something was wrong.
Yeah, could be.
This takes place after the Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Triple H coming out after a pile driver has taken place. One of the best package pile drivers I've seen in a long time. Triple H decides, all right, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Comes out, swipes the title down, tries to grab the winged eagle, throws it on the ground, then decides he's going to shove, or Kevin Owens decides he's going to shove Triple H. That didn't work very well.
Yeah.
We beg the question, is this a tease? do we have a clear?
Like, that one popped up. We got that one.
Yeah. Did we have a clear? Like, is he going to do something?
No, there's no way he'd be allowed.
See, I didn't know if that was a possibility or not.
He's got a pacemaker. Absolutely not.
Well,
he
yeah,
could never get medically
that's a
cleared
good point.
by TKO.
That's a
or
good point.
WWE. And that's not saying he's not good for a pedigree every once in a while.
Once in a while, yeah. Or I was thinking something along the lines of a quick street fight.
See, and I think really they're just going to posture KO to be the guy who's anti-establishment, the bad guy who's anti the boss, anti the rules.
Well, there's a lot of rumors
You know.
going around, which we will get into when
Yeah.
when the image comes up of a new faction being talked about created,
Oh.
which is pretty interesting
Yeah.
that we have found. But yeah, so here's the deal. Kevin Owens has the Winged Eagle.
Yeah. Well, they were going to have Shawn Michaels help interfere between the two of them and throw a super kick, but he couldn't figure out which one to look at.
Aim for the one in the middle.
Next slide, Johnny.
It's great, actually.
Thank you.
Liv Morgan suffered a broken nose due to the knee strike from Io Sky. That we watched it, and then we watched that slow motion replay after, and you can literally see her nose get busted all over her face.
But-
Io Sky landing one of the most vicious knees. That's through a knee pad.
Yeah.
That's through a knee pad.
Can I just say, though, that for
Max
a
was
woman
broken hearted.
whose face is shattered
Horribly.
and she's
She
covered
looks
in
really
blood
good.
is even sexier than her normal. Is that
Well,
healthy?
you should have seen
Probably.
it. We went to commercial
Maybe
last
she should
night.
add blood to her look.
Yeah.
They
she
went
should.
to commercial last night, and Max was getting antsy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when they come back, she was on the ground, and I told him, I was like, don't worry, Max. It's just the beginning of the match. Nothing's happened that you've missed. And then he went like this. You're right. You're right. And that's how I told him I was going to tell this story.
I hate you so much.
Especially
you
when it
love
comes
Liv
to love.
Morgan, and
Liv
we know
Morgan.
that.
As much as he hates me, he loves that woman twice as much.
You know, I've never
So
seen
So does Dominique.
someone
as,
love.
Dominique,
You know,
yeah. As,
I
I'm sure it's,
like the character and
Did
all
you
that
catch
jazz.
that?
She
Oh, yeah.
has really developed.
Oh, yeah.
her-
Yeah, she's
her
got.
talent, so
She's gotten.
better.
Since
I
her
still
return.
don't like her, but I will give her credit.
he
She
loves
has
her.
gotten
He doesn't
better.
like her.
Yeah.
He loves her. Hit us with the next one, Big Man John.
Keep
Also,
Pretty
speaking
elbows.
of injuries, Tonga Loa will be out 8 to 12 months
Ooh.
with a torn tricep due to CM Punk and War Games.
Ouch.
This marks the first time in history that there was a cage match that Punk wasn't the one who tore his tricep.
Ha! Ha ha!
You're
Fuck
welcome.
you, Phil!
You're welcome. No, Tonga Loa's going to be out. That's a shame, man. Didn't know how to hold a belt
You
the
know,
right way and all that. So it is what it is. Sorry about your luck, bro.
if a busted bloody nose can work for Becky and Britt, it'll work for Liv too. That's a great point.
100% accurate, except everyone kind of liked it when she got kneed in the nose, especially Max.
I love it.
Well, actually, he was crying. We thought it was tears of agony, but really it was tears of joy. Because he's like you. He liked the look of her with the blood.
I don't give a damn. I'd hit her in the
I
face
can't-
again and get after it. I'd have her bite me.
Break your glasses apart and use the side there to stab him in the neck.
He wants you to sacrifice me to his one and only, the goddess Liv Morgan.
You
Can
know
you hit
what?
us with the
At
next
this
one,
point,
please?
I think I would.
The New Day have become the biggest heels in professional wrestling, with their turn on Big E, coming out to try to defend themselves, only to be hushed by the crowd.
Yep.
Their T-shirt sales have fell completely off. They are experiencing white heat. This is explain to the folks, Caleb, what white heat is to someone who does not know.
All right, so white heat is clean heat. It's basically the hottest version of fire is white fire. And that means that right now they are not being booed out of the building because they suck. They're not being booed out of the building because people don't like them. They're being booed out of the building because they've infuriated the fans. They were the top-selling merch sellers for the company forever.
Last 10 years.
Now their merch is completely dropping, which means fans aren't buying their merch, which is a good thing for a heel. Like, it sucks they're not going to make any money, but they've essentially become the biggest heels in the
I
business.
want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine February 2nd, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Mhm.
The number 16
Okay?
to 18 comes out.
Okay.
After the New Day have already been in the ring
Yeah.
and it's Big
Big
E.
E.
Can you imagine the pop?
Mm-hmm.
That's Kevin Nash Road Warrior level fucking pop.
It's gonna be fucking tasty. But for now, Kofi and
Greatest.
Xavier
Write it.
are just when the New Day went to speak, and the fans who was it? It was the Miz and the guitar player.
No, it was Owens and Elias.
Yeah, Owens and Elias.
Seattle.
When they went to speak, and every single time they went to speak, the fans ate them up with booze. This was even better.
It's 10 times more heat than Dominic has.
Oh yeah, and it's clean heat. It's good heat.
And here's the thing: they're doing the number one thing a heel should do. Everything that's come out of their mouth is, "We haven't done anything to Big E. We could have hit him with a chair. We didn't. You know, we haven't done really anything to him." The way that the crowd booed Kofi and Xavier makes Dominic Mysterio look like a total saint. I know, right?
Well, and the other thing too is like what I've always believed is what makes a good heel is a heel who thinks he's right.
That is the greatest
and
heel.
Xavier,
Michael Hayes had that.
And Xavier and Kofi haven't done anything wrong.
No, they haven't. Everything they said is pretty much accurate.
It's all about perspective.
Exactly.
With the exception of the neck stuff, because the man has been legitimately hurt.
But even then, they're saying that, okay, yeah, you got a broken neck, but you left us.
Yeah.
You didn't have to leave us.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go away. You left us alone.
Yeah, where were you a year ago?
Kofi, with Xavier's frustration. Xavier did get he was king of the ring and got nothing for it.
Yep.
Kofi was fed to Brock Lesnar for the world title. The fans were supposed to be behind the New Day every step of the way, and the fans are the ones who failed the New Day. And nothing they say. The other beautiful part about a heel who thinks he's right is a heel who doesn't have to lie. A heel who can tell the truth, and just like Jake Roberts was
Chris
the best.
Jericho,
like if you can look at the audience and tell them the truth about themselves, it's
because
just
the crowd wants to go.
Yeah. Well, it's
you know what I mean. That's that's the hook.
The stuff they have Drew doing right now. Like, did you watch the Drew McIntyre sit-down interview?
Yes.
Where he's talking about this business swallows you up and it gives nothing back, and I had to go home and be with my sick mother, and they wanted me back on the road, and blah blah blah. Everything he says is true, but it's the way you paint the picture with the truth. And these guys are just
killing it.
Hey.
They're killing it. And here's the deal: if the triple threat takes place at Mania, like I think it is. Called that shit on the show in 2017.
Yep, sure did.
Except we thought it would be for the world title.
Yeah, that was always our hope.
Or actually, no, for the Intercontinental title at the time. Because that's what they were pushed. That we were. It was, The Intercontinental title
and then
tournament.
When Big E first won the world title, we always discussed, had Big E's reign been longer, a triple threat match at WrestleMania.
Yep. Or they were going to split them, and that's how they were going to do it. Either way, they're a couple years late. That's all right. It's working out perfectly.
It's coming out, baby.
Hit us with the next one, Big Bad John. What we got here next? Yes, the rumored premiere for Netflix. Other than, of course, now Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa in Tribal Warfare for the awful waffle that he wears around his neck.
Awful waffle?
What is it? The onomatopoeia? What is it? Awful waffle. He's hungry. I understand.
Allah fala.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, his necklace thingy. He's
overcooked that waffles.
That's what it is.
But this is the other.
Is the awful waffle
and this
the
is
enemy
why.
of French toast, man?
This is why. The Rock is pulled out of WrestleMania. And I'm telling you this is why, and I'm going to say it right here. We're going to break it down on the thing. We're going to break this down. The reason we're having this on the debut is because CM Punk's going to call in the favor, and it's going to be Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk at WrestleMania in a triple threat for the title. The Rock has backed out. So what we have to do, we've already done the Survivor Series where the bad guys lost. Now we're doing Roman Reigns versus, because here's the deal, Solo Sikoa's crew got knocked down too.
Yep.
Bronson Reed's gone. Surgery, which we'll talk about here in a minute.
Tama Tonga's gone.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're getting this because this is what the Mania match was going to be.
Yeah.
So they've decided, well, where else could we do this that it would make sense where it would matter?
Yeah. Well, and I think...
So we're not going to get... I don't think we're going to get The Rock.
I think, well, either way, but for Netflix, it's name value that's going to drive it. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, they've got a billable main event to put on the show.
I don't know if there's something about that I think I sent a picture for, but I'm not sure.
No.
So.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, okay, so the fight they got into on Monday night.
Yes.
Everybody was shitting on Punk for his like, he throws, he like leans in and he throws the hand, and that's when they that's an actual boxing maneuver.
Yes.
And like all of you people who've like never been in a real fight or know nothing about real fighting in comparison to combat sports.
When did we start talking about Anakin?
Yeah. Well, hey now, but like he goes in and does a legitimate boxing maneuver, and then everybody on Twitter was like, I can't believe this is the guy that won 3 fights in 8. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You know nothing. Your parents don't love you enough, and you need to take a shower.
I didn't love you enough as a kid, did I?
Right, you are, grandson.
But a lot of big time matches.
Yeah. CM Punk and
for
Seth
Raw.
Rollins is also is also like I said, it's a billable main event with name value, and it gives people a reason to look forward to the premiere. It can't be just Raw's coming to Netflix.
Right.
They have to promote something for it. They've got a couple of weeks to do that with Punk and Rollins.
Hit us with the next one.
Well, let's see. Hold on. I got 2 comments from Derek that are not showing up with you guys.
Okay.
Pull up your phone.
Derek says, yes, New Day along with Drew are justified heels because they have valid reasons. And Derek also says, the awful waffle was overcooked. That's why it's red.
That's true. That's super true.
Well played, sir.
That's well played, sir. Yes. 3 points to fucking Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Hit us. Okay, so here's the deal. Logan Paul on Impulsive was asked by a fan when he was returning to the WWE on his podcast. He said that he was a father now and that he was retiring from professional wrestling. Whether this is a gimmick and he will be in the Rumble, which is what a lot of people are pointing towards. If not, why stay? You've become champion. You've proved you can do it. You've made all your money. You know, I mean, Prime's going to pay him with the WWE for the remainder of what he needs. If you want to be home with your child, I say kudos to Logan Paul.
I mean, I don't disagree, but what a waste.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
God-given
But I
talent.
mean, if he's...
He was getting really good.
He was
He was growing
phenomenal.
on me.
I really wanted to see him
I wanted to see more.
be in the WWE full time and what they could have
Yeah.
done.
And
with
we
it
might
because-
still see
I
him.
hope we do.
But if not,
This
I
is
mean,
one of
career
those
well
cases
done.
That it's not about the consumer and it's about him.
Right.
And
Well,
what he
100%.
wants to do.
Well, and
And,
his
and also,
and the
what
Paul
better reason
family,
to walk away?
He could just be taking a break.
Yeah.
he
It's
could be
like-
scared he's going to have to fight Mike Tyson next.
It's like, remember, did we ever, and I know, because this just reminds me of it, did we ever, what year was it, that we were supposed to get Riddle and Rollins like 6 different times, but one of them kept getting hurt?
2022.
And we never got it. It never happened. Except for like one off
We
on
did
Raw
the
or
one
something.
cage match
Yeah.
MMA fight that took place that had no ropes. It was just the
No, that
Lions
was
Den
Riddle.
or whatever.
That was Riddle and Timothy Thatcher.
No. Him and Rollins did it
Yeah.
once.
Oh yeah, the fight, but it wasn't the fight pit.
And then no, it was
Yeah.
it was called something else, but it was a
like
cage with no
underground,
ropes.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. But this is the same thing. Like I wanted Logan Paul after because he announced that he was going to be a full-time WWE superstar, and then he never came back to TV.
Well, he had that. He was getting sued.
Yeah, he was getting sued by the
But the financiers of Prime, Prime or whatever.
Yeah.
But that doesn't reflect his time with the WWE.
Also, he stepped away due to the comments that he made about that Olympian.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
why
right.
he got the belt pulled
That's
from him in
right,
first
the
place.
boxer.
And then with the baby.
So either
he
he's
just
retired-
Really hasn't had
Yeah.
time.
Either he's retired,
And
Or he'll show up.
or they're trying to keep him off TV until they feel enough time has passed.
I mean,
to bring
McAfee
him back.
said something
There's
similar
also
about that
that Prime.
boxer. They gave him a full-time job.
That's because he's Pat McAfee. Say what he wants.
Yeah, well, the Prime lawsuit doesn't reflect
I don't
their
know.
business.
No, but I mean, I'm talking about him not being able to be free
Right.
to do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Being he doesn't live in the United States. He
Yeah.
lives in Brazil or wherever the fuck he's at.
I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't live in the United States. He has he films his Impulsive show, everything from his front room. He was never a Switzerland. He was never a U.S. citizen. He never has been. His family are from over they're either Sweden or Swiss. Look it up. They used to be called the Team 10
Yeah.
Top 10 group, but they aren't from America. he doesn't live in America now, I know for sure. But yeah, when they first busted on the scene, they were from like overseas.
I have a question. for
Logan
you.
Paul's nationality is American.
Is it?
Yep.
He was born here?
Yep.
Doesn't mean
That's
he
what
can
I'm
be
looking
born
for.
in
Yeah,
the
I mean, he can have dual citizenship. He was born in Westlake, Ohio,
Okay.
so he's 100% American.
They do keep saying Ohio's his hometown.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he's from Ohio. In his early life, he went to Westlake High School in Ohio and graduated Ohio High School.
Okay, so
and a
where does
college
he
in
live
Ohio.
now?
Personal life, he lives on Hollywood and Vine in California.
It doesn't sound right to me.
And now he also has a home in Encino, California. And in 2021, he bought a home in Dorado, Puerto Rico.
That's it, Puerto Rico. That's where he's at. That's where he resides with the Impulsive Show.
Yeah.
Damn, Caleb,
It's
you
Puerto
should've known
Rico.
that one.
Yeah, fuck, I should have known. I sit next to one every week.
I'm not Puerto Rican. But yeah, so nothing you just said was correct.
Are you a Spaniard?
I'm kidding.
No, they
Spaniard?
No.
they maybe they filmed all that shit over in
Oh, hell, I
Switzerland.
don't know.
They had a house.
He had stuff because he's done
Yeah, they
international
had a
stuff
house.
with Jake Paul.
Yeah, it
before.
was him, Jake. It was the
Yeah.
Ricardo brothers.
Yeah.
That were the Savage Boys.
Well, no, that was all done in his house in Puerto Rico.
Okay, then that's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. Then okay, that's my bad.
The awful Rollins versus Riddle only match was an Extreme Rules 2022 in a cage fight pit match. Yep.
Thank you, Fight Pit.
Yeah. So it was the fight pit.
Yeah, it just wasn't the same Fight Pit.
Yeah.
Now, everyone, please cast your vote in the chat.
For what?
There is
There's
a poll.
poll going.
What's
I
the
don't
poll?
know how it got there.
Who is goofier looking, Caleb or Luke?
That would be me.
Oh,
Especially
shit, I
with
didn't
this
read the whole question.
Red dot going on my forehead right now. I'm either
I
getting shot at
I
or
didn't read
changing
the whole
religion.
question, so I voted wrong.
I thought it just said goofier.
I just thought
That's what
Lou
I-
was goofier
That's
myself
all I saw.
when I voted for you.
I didn't
All
see
right,
it.
what we got next? That's cool though. I like that poll stuff. We can start that kind of stuff now.
Yeah.
We should.
Hey, here's a poll we can start.
This is such a crock of shit!
Tony Storm returns to Rampage, of all places, with the return of the Tony Storm gimmick. Here's the deal. They was said to be 6 or 7 actual legitimate professional wrestlers outside Tony Khan's office all day telling him it was a bad idea, and that just goes to show you when Tony Khan gets handed a pair of snakeskin boots, he becomes fucking Herb. And he's gonna run AEW into the fucking ground.
How do you have...
Shad Khan, his dad, needs to come out and either A, take control of this business, or you're going to lose a lot of money and respect within the sports community. Y'all don't realize how more sports-centric WWE is now. They take that shit more seriously nowadays than they usually do. Man, you're gonna fuck that up.
It's not just... I mean, that has no bearing on it. Tony Storm just was voted the number 3 heel in the fucking professional wrestling business. She had a
Just to ruin it.
She had a banner year in AEW.
Yeah.
She had one of the most influential and in creative gimmicks fucking the entire year long. She ran the Timeless Tony Storm thing perfectly. It was executed perfectly. She had 2 brutal fucking matches in that entire run with Mariah May. She wrestled every single top woman in AEW for the Women's World title. Was voted like the number 2 woman last year. And instead of Tony Khan saying, all right, Tony Storm's coming back after her loss, we're going to bring her in and we're going to do something special with her on Dynamite because she draws ratings, which she does. She draws numbers, which she does. She sells merch, which she does. And that's all beneficial for everybody. Plus, she hasn't had a bad match in over 2 years. Nay, we're going to put her on the fucking C show of AEW to no fanfare, no promotion, no major media, nothing, in an old gimmick. In the gimmick that she had to get rebranded from in the first fucking place.
It's like they
And
want her to
undoes
fail.
all of that hard work. Again, she leaves. She creates this media storm because she leaves NXT. She leaves the WWE behind because she wasn't getting what she thought she deserved. She comes to AEW in an incredible debut, again for 2 years, captivates an audience, sells merchandise, has nothing but good
Gives
matches,
Luther a job.
creates, again, a gimmick. As a gimmick guy and as someone who loves great gimmicks, I said it all last year. It was the best gimmick in fucking wrestling. And she executed it perfectly. She got a part in the fucking Mildred Burton movie because of how well she executed that gimmick. And you're going to bring her back in old gear with no promotion, no fanfare on the fucking C show that happens on Saturday night at 9 o'clock after SNL goes off the air? On your parent or on your rival's parent network? Are you out of your ever-loving fucking mind? That is like bringing Charlotte Flair back on Speed.
They might.
They might.
Remember who you're talking to?
Whoever I want.
Tony Khan, right?
Yeah, fuck that guy. That fucking guy.
That's what I say. Think about
How
who
do
you're
you?
talking about her.
How do you fuck it up? How do you have? You've got the best, arguably the best heel faction in wrestling, just doing confusing stunts on your TV against. This is not a disparaging remark to Orange Cassidy whatsoever, but Orange Cassidy is never going to be a major player. And yes, he's a major player in AEW, but it's facetious play because he's not serious. You've got the fucking murder, death, kill crew, or whatever the fuck it is they're called, roaming around fucking pouring bleach down people's throats because that's something you do in a professional wrestling company if you want to take control. You've got your international talent so tied up in fucking contract litigations that you haven't seen one of the absolute best tag teams in the fucking world and in the business on television in over 8 fucking months. Meanwhile, TNA is picking up every single straggler they can get and putting on a banger show and selling more tickets, mind you, for their B-rated fucking pay-per-views than an AEW Dynamite television taping can sell. They're not selling any merchandise, and somehow they're still managing to sell pay-per-views, and it doesn't matter how badly they fuck this up, because they just got all of that guaranteed money from TBS. So it doesn't matter. They're still going to be the most profitable company with absolutely zero reward, and there's AEW fans who are just like, ugh, this is pretty good. You're fucking wrong.
And this is coming from the AEW guy.
And I loved AEW when it started, and I've been critical of AEW every step of the way. And I've also admonished Tony Khan's successes, like I did all last year when it came to his handling of the Blackpool Combat Club. I can see it. The Blackpool Combat Club, Tony Storm, even how he handled the fucking tag team division last year was perfect. And this year hit, and he fucking undid all of it. He says, Derek says agreed. Tony Cokehead is at it again with changing Tony back to her gimmick who has dementia.
Yep.
So fucking stupid. Meanwhile, the WWE is creating compelling stories with legitimate rivalries every single week. They're utilizing every facet of their media to promote serious storylines between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, between Seth Rollins and CM Punk.
They got
creating
guys coming up from NXT.
Creating unparalleled character dynamics like Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns right now. And on the other show, we have a guy with his hands in his pockets, getting attacked, being choked out with a mop, and their top heel is
Moppy
Daniel
was there?
fucking Garcia.
Yeah, how did they swing Moppy?
It just...
Well, you swing Moppy like a bat.
And everybody keeps saying that AEW's in this rebrand. It's been in a rebrand for 2 fucking years. Figure it the fuck out.
Yep. Rampage debut. That sounds familiar. Hit us with the next one, please. Speaking of AEW trouble backstage, Mariah May gives a candid jab at Mercedes Moné when asked about how the women's locker room enjoyed having Mercedes Moné with them. Mariah May says, I don't know. Mercedes Moné has her own dressing room that she doesn't dress with the girls. She dresses by herself, and that they wouldn't even know she was there if she wasn't promoted as one of Tony Khan's favorite female athletes. This coming from your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. This is your women's champion. Talking about your biggest women's star.
Doesn't sound good.
Wow.
However,
How is it that she doesn't get punished, but if somebody like, I don't know, Danhausen, for instance, criticizes something that has to do with your medical, same thing with Ray Phoenix, and then Danhausen hasn't been seen since. Ray Phoenix isn't. They have nothing for you, bro. Sorry about it. You know what I mean? That although the AEW thing they released was fake, they had a press release come out saying about it being a English Spanish
of course,
language
that
thing.
was some asshole who ribbed him on the internet.
It caught me at first.
Now,
I did some more research on it.
But here's what I want to say to the opposite effect. They're building this feud where Mercedes Moné believes she's the best in the business and better than all the other women in AEW.
But she's not.
It doesn't matter if she's not. That's what she believes, and that's what Tony Khan purportedly believes too.
Yeah.
Mariah May speaking from the heart as someone who had to fight in AEW to get her spot against the major star who got signed for all the money in the world. So her cutting that promo to me isn't necessarily a bad thing because she...
No, I didn't say it was a bad thing. I'm saying it proves a point.
Yeah.
And
the point
Mercedes Moné is that if she's causing duress.
Nah.
If she's causing duress, that's not good, especially for a women's locker room.
Oh, yeah, but also...
I mean, we have Thunder Rosa and them going and shooting on each other on national television a couple years ago. What was it? Her and Evilise.
Evilise.
And
well,
stuff
Evilise
like that.
Tried to shoot
Could
on
you
Thunder
imagine
Rosa.
if somebody shot on friggin'
Mercedes Moné?
What
get
kind
backhanded.
of a PR nightmare?
When you're Tony Cokehead's cash cow, you will get what is handed to you. I mean, I don't disagree, but also, and this is part of the controversial part about wrestling. When you are one of the top stars and you are drawing the most money and you are making the most money, you get to have the clout of your own dressing room. Undertaker had one. Roman has one. Cody has one. Cody has his own fucking bus. Orton has his own bus.
No, see, yes, and
hold
agreed.
on, though.
Agreed.
Because those boys aren't dressing with the boys. Those boys are dressing on their... Now they'll come out, they'll hang with the boys, and yeah, Mercedes Moné did get walked in and handed a ton of money. That was after a performative year prior where she wrestled 5 or 6 major money, major drawing matches in Japan during her exit from the WWE, was crowned the first IWGP Strong Women's Champion, was crowned the first inaugural IWGP Women's Champion, and then she dog walked into AEW, and yeah, there was some...
She wasn't the first Strong champion.
Yes, she was.
No, she wasn't. She broke her foot in the match.
But she was going to be crowned, and then she laid down for Willow Nightingale. The point is that she had the biggest year outside of the WWE after leaving the WWE in a bunch of minor controversy when she was one of the top women in wrestling, or in the WWE, and then comes into AEW with the respective fanfare of being one of the 4 horsemen of wrestling. Here's the problem. If people don't like the way Mercedes Moné gets treated, they should look at all the accolades that she had beforehand making that criticism. You see what I'm saying?
If she was still the Mercedes Moné and was putting on banger after banger like she used to,
she'd be
worth the money. I haven't seen a Mercedes
You didn't watch the last pay-per-view.
I've watched every pay-per-view.
You didn't watch the last pay-per-view? No, we didn't. Because we
we didn't.
You didn't either.
I have.
You didn't watch that match because we talked about it last time we talked about this match. The point that I'm saying is, the last match was the one that she had where they said that she really finally fucking clicked and it was one of the best matches on the card. We talked about that on this show. It's on record.
I guess I don't remember that much.
But anyway, that being said, we also discussed the fact that it was communication issues because she came to AEW wrestling a bunch of talents that don't have the benefit of the WWE development system. So they don't all wrestle that style. Now she's finally coming out and relearning, rehashing, and rebuilding how she works, right? To work with other women, and now she's getting to the point where she's that good. Now, I don't disagree that her first few matches in AEW weren't great. Because they weren't. We all watched them, and they weren't great. But to say that, again, she's not one of the best women's wrestlers, and she's not worth the money, and she's... Even if she is agitating other women in their locker room, sometimes it's okay to get agitated. You know what I mean?
I'm going to have to step up.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay. Come on over here, Maximus.
Sure thing. All right.
Somebody probably needs to get this door behind me.
Yeah, I got it. Oh!
All right.
So anyway,
so where we at?
I'm just talking about Mercedes Moné. And like I said, if she is agitating people, let her be agitated. If you're a big star, look at Hogan. I mean, Hogan had his own locker room forever, and yeah, he was a dick, but he was a major star.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys, they've earned the right to have their own.
I don't disagree with that.
You're talking about like Orton and
Mhm.
Cody. They've earned that. They damn well may have even bought their own. That may be Cody's personal bus that he bought.
Yeah. Well, and that's the argument too. Is like no one's criticizing Cody for not dressing with the boys.
Right.
Mercedes Moné.
Because
I
they
see
come
your
out and
point
hang with
now.
everybody.
You see what I'm saying? Like she helped build NXT. She helped build the women's division. She helped build the women's tag team division. There's not a woman who made any money in the WWE without going through Mercedes Moné first, or at least working with her. She comes to this other company again after having a major year in Japan. She's being treated like a major star because she is one.
I don't think
Not
she's very
if
good,
she's.
but
I think even to that extent, I'm not even. There was one year where she was the best women's wrestler in the business. That has very much changed. But that was also like, what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Look at, again, Toni Storm wasn't the greatest wrestler at all 2 years ago. And she came in to AEW in her new gimmick, and she was the number one women's wrestler last year.
I think the bigger argument here is not that she's being treated like a star, but that she's
is she
She
acting
if
like
she's
a
not
snob as
if
well?
she's not going out and
Right.
hanging with the boys, and when I say
And
boys,
that's,
that includes everyone
Right,
in the locker room.
that's the whole locker room. If
Yeah,
you're one of the
the
boys, you're one
everyone.
of the boys.
If you're not coming out there and hanging with the boys,
Yeah.
and you're staying on your own, like they said, if she hadn't been promoted, they wouldn't know that she was there.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
And that I don't disagree with. I'm just saying, for people to criticize the way she's set up by Tony Khan versus her behavior. You see what I'm saying? Like she's being a bitch.
Is that
That
the
is on
argument,
her.
though?
Well, that's what, I mean, if you follow anything on Twitter regarding how
I don't-
people treat her,
I
it's
don't.
constantly, well, she doesn't deserve that amount of money. It's this, like, she
Okay.
doesn't, but bullshit, she doesn't.
Arguable.
Oh, yeah, we're going to. But anywho, that's enough about Mercedes Moné for now. I'll be back. Oh, I'll be all right, Big Bad John, cue me up here. I cannot read that. December 10th marks 2 years, 730 days. Athena has held the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. That is true. If you don't follow Ring of Honor,
I don't.
well, you know Athena, formerly Ember Moon. She won the AEW Women's Ring of Honor Women's Championship 2 years ago. Has had numerous successful defenses, including defenses against Billy Starks. I think even defended against Toni Storm. She's also defended it in AEW on certain shows. But she's not slowing down anytime soon. And I believe that makes her the longest reigning women's champion in wrestling today. If I am not mistaken, depending on who
That's awesome.
Depending on who the Shimmer World's champion is, which I'll have to take a look at. But that would make her, actually,
All right.
I think that makes her the longest reigning champion in wrestling, period, right now.
Who we talking about?
Ember Moon, Athena?
Yes, she is the longest reigning women's champion, I want to say, since...
Since either Becky or Charlotte, at least.
I'll get that.
You got it? I'm going to say, I'm going to say one of the longest,
Yeah.
especially
Defeated.
uninterrupted.
Yeah. Well, and I was just saying, too, I believe that makes her the longest reigning champion in wrestling right now, period.
Yeah, it does. I believe it does.
Good for her.
I know that Gunther is close to 200 days.
As world champion, yeah.
So is Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Is closing in on.
Yeah, but she's 738 days. That's
Well, I was
2
about
years.
to say that's about the longest that we have going right now. She's definitely in the lead.
Yeah, if Gunther were still Intercontinental Champion, he might have
Yeah.
a lead, but...
Yeah.
Anywho, congratulations on Athena.
Well, I mean, technically, we don't know. Chelsea Green could be, depending on how far we go.
I mean, yeah, she could. If
Being
she
we're
holds,
right at the beginning.
if she
you know
holds
what I
the
mean?
U.S. title for two years plus.
Well, I mean, Dean Ambrose did.
Oh yeah, that's
Do you
true.
remember when he was
part of
United
that.
States
Yeah,
champion
when he was-
fucking ever didn't defend it or nothing?
Yeah, when he was part of the Shield.
Did you know that Saturday night's main event took place last night and that Hulk Hogan was at a UFC match walking some dude to the cage, that they did all that promotion for Saturday night's main event and they didn't even have Hogan?
Well, Hogan's not
Also, every
necessarily-
promotion that they did for it was nothing but dead WWE superstars.
Do you want Hogan on the same show that you have Jesse the Body Ventura
Yes,
on?
I do. Let 'em fight.
I mean, I do, yes.
Let 'em fight.
100%.
In the Baja.
In the Baja. Got a new house down in the Baja. Chris. I was there, Chris.
That
was there,
I
Chris.
got
sad.
the Agent Orange.
This was the next one, Big Bad John. All right.
Ray FedEx, no one stays in a place where they received inhumane treatment. Now, let's be clear. We're not talking inhumane treatment as like... I mean, come on. He's not getting his ass beat in the locker room all the time.
I mean, no.
No, that's true. It is AEW.
It is actually.
But I mean, what are we talking? How I want to know. I want to know what I want to know. Is it the medical holdup because we've had that complaint before from other guys?
Well, he come out and said something about wanting doctors but not getting doctors.
Yeah, I saw that one. So we've heard the medical complaints before. We don't know what kind of money he's getting.
No.
It might be on the lower end.
Yeah, probably.
Especially
is.
Especially for a member of the debut roster.
Yeah, considering there ain't many of them left.
How much international travel Tony Khan pays for, whether or not his working visa is getting taken care of by the business. Like, there could be a lot of situations that have Ray Phoenix.
I mean, they didn't pick up their biggest talent, CM Punk, when he flew over to Wimbledon to wrestle in the biggest pay-per-view of the year, and he had to take the fucking train.
Yeah.
Because no one was there to pick him up.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here. He's was your biggest dog in this fight.
Out.
He was your biggest dog in this fight, and he went home.
Athena is the longest reigning women's champion since Kaylee Ray,
Alba Fire, yes.
who held the NXT UK Women's Championship for 649 days.
There you go.
Excellent work, Derek.
I remember when Kaylee Ray did all that. She was wrestling Piper Niven.
Yeah.
Or Viper at the time is
Viper.
what she was over there. They had a killer cage match at one of the NXT UK events. It was sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Ray Phoenix, man, I really hate, but at the same time, you signed a contract, bro.
Yeah, and the other part, too, is like
they did, WWE did it to Rey Mysterio when he got hurt.
And Tony Khan, like, why would you sign the contract if you don't agree with the clause? Tony Khan's not breaking any rules. It's just that wrestling fans don't like it when that happens to wrestlers.
Right.
But Tony Khan's not violating their contract, and again, he's still paying Ray Phoenix. It sucks, but like, shut the fuck up because they're not poking him with sticks.
By trade are independent contractors.
They don't have him locked in a cage poking him with sharp sticks. They're just not letting him out of his contract till it expires.
Also, I've said this since the beginning that the worst part of allowing your wrestlers to go to other shows is because of reasons like this.
Yep. If you get injured on somebody else's show from your main paycheck,
you're screwed, and there ain't
You've
nothing
always
you can do
said
about
that. 100% have always said that.
That's the biggest problem. I allow my champion to go and wrestle on this show. He gets hurt.
Yeah.
Now I have a problem.
Multi-billion-dollar
I don't have a
company.
champion to defend the belt. All the months and years of storytelling out the window.
Yep. Not to mention, he leaves Penta, his brother, high and dry.
Especially since nowadays people are going to fucking deathmatch wrestling and shit from the main roster. I'm not going to send you to be thrown through fucking glass and thumbtacks and barbed wire and fire and shit.
We got TV on Wednesday.
We got a headlock and an armbar fest planned for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Hell, there's times that they don't want them to go do movies just in case they don't get
100%.
That's why The Rock's not going to wrestle WrestleMania.
Movies. Hey, can I go be in a deathmatch tournament? Motherfucker, we got TV on Wednesday. No.
Well, hold on.
You
First
can't.
off, you going to win?
No, I'm going to go under to Johnny Pizza Cutter.
I'm going to let fucking Dirty Ronald McDonald beat
I know I'm the world champion here, but I'm going to let him set me on fire, piss on my mouth, and stab me. Is that cool?
Johnny Pizza Cutter, is his real name Donatello?
Can I go to the Indies? I'm going to wrestle for the tag titles. Who are you going to wrestle for the tag titles with? The guy I've been wrestling with in my home promotion for the last 6 years?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where the fuck we saw that before.
Do you remember? Oh, that reminds me. Whenever Johnny Gargano and fucking
AFU.
Johnny Gargano
AFU.
and Ciampa were feuding on NXT for the NXT Championship, and then Vince called them up mid-feud and put them on SmackDown as a tag team.
Yep.
What a dick move. Anyway,
The Major Brothers.
Ray Phoenix. What a guy.
It's a shame. Hit us with the next one, Big Bad John. What we got?
Phoenix, yeah.
Corey Graves, thanks to Ringside, I think that's Ringside roster. Yes.
Yep.
Corey Graves posts on Twitter, 10 years, I still miss it every day. There was no backup plan. Not bad for an audible. Thanks everyone for taking this ride with me. 10 years ago, Corey Graves was injured in a wrestling match. Told he could never wrestle again due to CTE or concussion syndrome, however you say it.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. 10 years later, he is the guy set up to take over being the voice of WWE.
Yep.
That's
He is
amazing.
Michael
Yeah.
Cole's hand-picked replacement.
You want to talk about making fucking lemonade out of lemon?
And here's the deal. He's in just as good enough shape. He could stay the #1 color commentator for the next
Oh yeah.
20 years.
He's only what, in his 40s. He's
And
a
him
young
and
guy,
Pat
maybe
McAfee?
late 30s.
Him and Pat McAfee work off of each other super
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
He's got a lifetime of a career with the WWE. Not to mention, he's great for media. He's a great
He was
ambassador.
only promised a year.
Yeah.
He was promised a year contract. in
Keep
the
him
beginning.
going, man.
now
Hell
look
yeah.
at him.
Congratulations, Corey. Hit us with the next one. See what
He
we
is
got.
exactly 40 years old.
Yeah. Oh, he's got
He'll be
Yes.
41 in February.
Don't forget,
Champa's beard oil.
if you think that the beard looks beautiful, look at the first beard.
Yeah.
That's before.
That's before the beard oil.
Before the beard oil, look, he has a pudgy belly.
Yeah.
His arms aren't as defined. Look over here, he's got a fucking 27 pack. He's got boobies that actually look rock hard nipples, and his eyes are kind of them bedroom eyes and stuff. But here's the deal: someone asked us, didn't they, Johnny? They emailed us about Ciampa's beard oil, and they asked. They was like, "Well, it works so good for the beard. Can you do it in other places? Can you use it on your eyebrows?" I said, "Well, I don't know." And they said, "Well, if you would, could you maybe use it on your head if you're bald?" And so it was posed a question on
Clearly
Twitter
that doesn't work.
that was answered by two separate people. We're going to get a look at them now. Hit us with the next
Okay.
one, Johnny. So I know they look like the same person. They're not. The hair, though, that's what Ciampa's beard oil can do for you.
You know what makes it so potent?
What's
It's
that?
made with bits of real Ciampa.
It is. That's
Now-
just that's how you know it's real.
Yeah.
Now, who are these clients?
Well, this is Rod Stewart. He woke up Maggie looking like that.
They just chop his beard
And then
shavings.
this
No.
here is PWT's own Frederick Douglass, otherwise known as Tedrick Douglass, otherwise known as the Ted.
He is the Ted.
He is the Ted, highest of fives.
I thought he was also Harold.
He is also Harold in spirit. Only in spirit, though.
True.
Yeah,
Johnny
that's my
put that
Teddy.
together. That
That's
was fucking
fantastic.
Hilarious. Ciampa's beard oil.
It'll
It'll
get you
you
drunk.
drunk.
Yes! Yes!
Is that why Teddy can't ever
Bitch.
walk? Is that why Teddy's back legs don't work?
That's exactly why.
And he pees himself all the time?
Chewed his fucking tail off. Yeah, that's him.
Oh, man.
Sounds
And then
like
there's the dog. Oh, here's the
Oh,
next one.
fantastic.
All right, Bronson Reed out for 8 to 12 months due to a broken ankle.
What a fucking shame.
However,
Yeah.
He will get family time. with
he
his
said
child.
they're
Yeah.
telling him not till after WrestleMania. Bronson Reed said over his broken ankle, he plans on being back for that Mania paycheck. So we will see. Wrestlers are notorious
Oh, yeah?
for
Yeah.
being able to come back with the strength regiments. John Cena come back from neck surgery, crushed vertebrae, and was back in 6 months.
Ciampa did the same thing in NXT whenever
Jimmy
he got
Dean
that
came
fracture.
back in 6 weeks and rolled
Whooped all
ass.
3.
Yeah, he broke his collarbone with
In
a
6
bat in Memphis,
places.
right? 6 places. God, one bat shot. That's Sting.
That's Sting.
Also,
Who's the
I
best
did
wrestler?
say out loud when
That would be Jimmy King.
he's the best wrestler.
He's the best wrestler.
All the best.
Better than all the wrestlers.
That's right. He's got class.
He's got class.
He'll roll that ass.
And he rules that ass.
He's Jimmy
Dot.
King.
Still
That's
gotta
all
work
we
on
have.
it.
That's. But no, when Carmelo Hayes, when they brought out Braun
Oh,
Strowman as
man.
his mystery partner,
Poor
as
Carmelo.
soon as they started coming towards the ring, I was like, "It's Sting."
It's Sting. It's gotta be Sting.
It wasn't. It was Braun Strowman.
Braun
Uh,
fucking Strowman.
Not this Braun, not the other Braun. Braun
the other,
Strowman.
yeah, it's Braun,
Yeah, this guy's name was Jonah
the Braun
beforehand. Hit us with the next one, please.
You know who they should have got? Fucking, Jeff Cobb. Should have hired Jeff Cobb.
Yes.
Oh well.
So, TNA Final Resolution happened. This was the main event for the final big pay-per-view of the year.
Yep.
You have Nick Namath defending
Dolph
the World Heavyweight Championship against Top Dollar.
Hey,
Here's the deal. If you're looking for the Pillsbury flop, do not hire Top Dollar.
no, if you're looking for the Pillsbury flop.
That or the stumble. The stumble and
Now,
crumble.
he's got a pretty solid following in wrestling, and he's doing a good job.
It just is amazing to me that this is your main event for your last show of the year.
Well, They can't all
Like, couldn't you have given it fucking Joe Hendry for the end of the year?
Well, he's gonna be.
Thank you.
He won the number one contendership, so he's gonna be the number one contender next.
So he made the number one step. So it makes it extra good.
Good Dolph Ziggler look.
He does.
Oh,
I just figured
so
that
good.
you know,
Fantastic.
it looks like he's defending the title on Sunday Night Heat.
I
That's
know
what that looks like.
I know that TNA is no longer working with AEW because they're working with WWE.
Because they're working with the real fucking professionals.
But I was really hoping we'd get a Ryan Nemeth versus Nick Nemeth feud at some point.
Speaking of feuds and TNA, Rhino is now a free agent as of today. Wrestled his last match for TNA Wrestling, he said ever.
Hire him back.
You know what that means? The NXT
NXT
bound, sir.
bound, baby. Call Heath Slater. We're getting the band back together.
He gonna teach Roman Reigns and all them how to hit a fucking gore properly.
Well, no, he doesn't hit. You know, no one's ever kicked out of a gore before.
Correct.
No one's ever kicked out of a gore. They've kicked out of Rhino's spears, but they've never kicked
That's
out of his
only
gores.
because he was after Scott Hall and
that's
Kevin
right.
Nash.
Hey,
That's
yo.
an awesome finish. Can't wait to kick out of it.
Hey, yo.
Anyways,
That's what he said before the
Dolph Ziggler retains the TNA Heavyweight Championship.
Shock and surprise!
Masha Slamovich retains the NXT crossover championship.
I do love Masha.
The women's championship. I call it the crossover.
She should be one that.
Moose should never be allowed to touch a fucking microphone ever again. I watched the build-up episode of Impact before, and he can't cut a promo to save his life.
He's pretty good.
God love him. He sounds like he's Eugene, and he's stumbling through the whole thing.
He would be more effective, I think.
You know who wins the most matches?
Me. You know,
Moose.
I think they should get him a mouthpiece, but we've always said that because just of his demeanor and the way he moves and the way he works.
I would think there would be more improvement.
Yeah, Big Bad John.
Yeah.
Sweet Tea's trying to get your attention, buddy.
Oh.
You know how he likes to listen to his wife.
No.
Also on the card,
What?
the Hardy Boys retain.
Shut up, Elma.
Hardy Boys retain.
Yes.
Tag team titles. Joe Hendry become the number one contender.
Yes.
Jordan Grace slipped and fell because Jordan Grace wrestles just like a trash bag.
Did she?
All right.
slip?
However,
Did she trip over her dick?
the answer to that trash bag has arrived. Here's what's the next one, Big Bad John.
The trashier bag. Tessa Blanchard in a penultimate TNA does a TNA has hired back notorious racist.
Why does she have
Is
Jay
it a
Leno
glad
chin?
bag or a heavy duty bag?
Oh, that one? No, that's one of those 50-gallon joints you
That's
get from
grit your teeth
Ace
and
Hardware.
pray. That's what
She
that
looks
is.
like
Ooh.
China and Stephanie McMahon had a baby.
She looked well.
She has Jay Leno chin.
She does have.
That's the stuff.
Well, I'm not gonna body shame her. However, she showed up in an all
Oh, no,
black.
it's not a shame.
She showed up in an all black costume with a black mask, which is crazy because normally she shows up in an all white robe. But TNA thought she might be a tripping
That's
hazard. She
terrible.
climbed to the ring with it. Man. I was super pro Tessa Blanchard. Then she got herself into trouble by basically every woman in wrestling coming out and telling stories about her being a bully. Jordan Grace actually refused to work with her backstage when they found out they were getting her. So I don't know how they convinced Jordan to even get in the ring with her.
Because Jordan's out in January.
But here's what I will say to that. She's been away for a little while. Maybe she learned her lesson. We don't know.
Maybe it humbled her.
And, also a lot of the stories that were coming out about her comments and the type of person she was were from years before the actual time it was happening.
Here's the deal. She hasn't spoke up since she left. And my problem with Tessa Blanchard wasn't even really the comment. My problem with Tessa Blanchard was the wanting them to pay her money to send the TNA championship.
Oh, yeah,
back.
holding TNA.
That's
for
what
more
I
money.
had a problem with.
Especially when
You
we
don't do that.
No, that's so...
They made you the first women's world heavyweight champion in TNA history.
Yep.
And you can't show up for fucking promos?
Yeah.
And you can't send the belt back when they want the... This isn't 1987 and you ain't
you're not,
fucking
and you're
Ric
not
Flair.
Hulk Hogan. Yeah,
You're
fuck
also
you.
not.
You're also not Stan
Alonzo
Hansen
Blade.
because if you was, that belt would have been destroyed.
That's what I say you would have ran it over after you got a little drunk. But I also think that, okay...
However, her talent,
Yeah, she's super talented. She's got name value.
her daddy, and her grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
huge stars
Third
of
generation
professional wrestling.
superstar. First ever
And
women's
her-
world
who-
champion
who
of a
are they?
main promotion.
Her dad was Tully Blanchard of the Four Horsemen.
And her stepfather's Magnum TA.
Magnum TA, who was a wrestler who was cut down after an automobile accident, ended his career.
Yeah.
He was the next Hulk Hogan.
He was the
Yeah,
next major
I've
star.
heard of Magnum TA through my dad.
Yeah.
Not really
He
the other
was
one,
the next
The
Hulk
next
Hogan.
major star.
He would have been
100%.
if he would have been able to continue, Hogan might not have rode the amount of success for as long as he did.
And the NWA's
Could you just
continued
imagine?
success with
Luger too.
WCW.
Luger too.
Yeah.
Him and Luger had
Maybe
some
we
good
need to
matches.
do some fantasy matches.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should
I
throw
did
another
that whole write-up on what would have happened.
Maybe we
if
should
Magnum
throw
won the
another
NWA
fantasy.
World
Yeah,
title.
we did. Maybe
Yeah.
we should throw another fantasy tournament together.
I'm
in the
down
next
with
couple
that.
Weeks.
That's a great idea. But back to talking about this broad. She fucking...
Black the color.
Let's see what happens. Maybe she's learned her lesson.
Maybe.
But
People
TNA...
do change.
People do change, and people learn from their mistakes. But also, TNA found a dedicated star they know NXT isn't going to try to steal anytime soon.
Not only that, but basically they just under fucking cut everybody because WWE was at one point wanting to bring her in and were willing to pay a lot of money for it.
Well, and who knows? Maybe she stays out of trouble and she's getting
Maybe
she's
this
back
is
in a major company.
maybe this is a condition from WWE
Yeah.
working with TNA going. If you can fucking go here again and get
Yeah.
along with everybody, because look, Punk was a big fucking problem backstage.
Oh yeah, the biggest.
They say he's a fucking saint to work with
Yeah.
in WWE.
People change.
Everyone
over
likes
the
him
years.
backstage. He's always helping the girls with different shit.
I'll bet he is.
Well, I mean, AJ, here's the deal. He isn't threatened. His wife isn't threatened because she's AJ and better looking than all of them.
That's true. And if
With
Tessa
the
Blanchard-
exception of Bailey's fine.
I don't know. Natty's pretty gorgeous.
Daddy's fine too.
if Tessa Blanchard manages to stay out of trouble long enough, we can get the long-awaited Tessa Blanchard versus Charlotte Flair,
Yes.
which would be too sweet. All right, Big Bad John, what do you got for us?
All right.
Triple H.
So, we talked about a little bit about this earlier. December 20th is the... December 20th. I apologize. December the 30th is the last episode of Monday Night Raw on the USA Network.
Sure is.
Triple H has said that they have been working for the last 3 or 4 months to build a pay-per-view quality WWE Raw. This is titties. WWE Raw.
All right, John, I'm
Send
going
off.
to work. I'm leaving you in their capable hands.
So here's the deal. No longer do we have any fear that comes to the USA Network that something's going to be cut off or the finish isn't going to take place the right way. Netflix. It's going to be great. It's going to be pay-per-view quality. We've got Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa for the tribal Alamala la 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 thing that he
That
wears.
awful-
La 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 necklace thing.
Alafala.
Alabala.
La 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 la.
Alla?
Alla gonna falla.
Alafala. Got you. And also we have the possibility of Seth Rollins and CM Punk. The card's building up to be pretty nice.
There's Samoan where play Malakalaki or something like that, right?
Mahalakalaki. Yes, that's Hawaiian. Yes, I
The
agree.
white for Christmas.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He
That's
learned
right.
that from Lilo and Stitch. You full of it, buddy. Hit us with the next one, please. All right, this is me putting out the Christmas decorations. As you can see,
I
very festive.
I am so mad Caleb missed this. Oh.
Very
Oh,
very
Caleb.
Christmassy.
Caleb, when you rewatch this back, it's all for you, buddy.
Yeah,
I
one's
did
especially
this. This was my neighbor let me do this for him, and this is all dedicated to Caleb.
Good.
Not it is dedicated to Caleb.
Well, look, I mean, he's got the Japanese poster for Die Hard. He's got all kinds of stuff up there. It's fantastic.
His wife kept saying, "Why is the carpet wet, Todd?"
I don't know. That's messed up. Hit us with the next one, please. Hey, Merry Christmas to all, except for Bill Goldberg. This is Bret Hart's Christmas card he's sending everyone this year.
To everyone but Bill Goldberg.
The only difference between it being realistic is the fact that Bret can carry a conversation in this picture.
Fluff Goldberg.
Love Goldberg. Merry Christmas to all and to all Bill Goldberg. Hit us with the next one.
Don't give me a Goldberg.
So these are the major heel turns of the year. 2024 was the heel turn year for professional wrestling. Up top, you got Chad Gable turning on Sami Zayn in the Alpha Academy. Liv Morgan, of course. I don't know who Liv Morgan made a heel turn for. She was a heel in the beginning, but she's on this list. The Rock, obviously, Kevin Owens. The New Day, and then Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano winning the tag titles and going heel. Best thing they could have done. I think the reason that they did it is because they're going to send the Motor City Machine Guns to Raw.
That's what I was thinking.
I think that they'll fit better there. They're more hard-hitting of a tag team.
Yeah.
SmackDown is more wrestling-based, where Raw is more freelance.
However, I would like to see the Motor City Machine Guns and Pretty Deadly.
Yeah. Well, I hope to see more Pretty Deadly. Period.
I miss those guys.
There's a lot of rumors that we're getting the Judgment Day. All members of the Judgment Day. Gunther and
Does that mean R-Truth?
somebody else. Yes, all going to Raw. All champions going to Raw except the Intercontinental Champion, obviously. And the WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and the Bloodline. And the Women's Champion, Nia Jax, as well as Tiffany Stratton, all going to Raw. Is the plan as of right now. Raw wanted Cody Rhodes. Raw wanted several different people. Netflix gets what Netflix wants.
If they're paying enough.
And I'm okay with it. It's time to see Roman Reigns on Sunday and the Bloodline fuck with a different roster of wrestlers.
Yeah.
It's been the same roster fighting against either side of the Bloodline for the last 4 years. It's time to switch it up and put them on Mondays. I think we'll get a lot more fresh matchups out of it. You know, let's see Solo Sikoa fuck with Braun Breaker. You know what I mean? Let's see some shit like that. Ilya Dragunov, let's have him come back, fuck with Jacob Fatu for a little while. You know, there's plenty of dream matches that could take place that would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Ilya and Jacob.
Where did they, it was Liz stealing Dom from Rhea. Oh, that makes sense. Well, that would have been a Dom double heel turn then. Where did they send The Miz? Ooh, good question. Well, you got to keep The Miz on Raw if that's where the Wyatts are staying. That's who he's fighting.
Theory.
It is a mystery. You have the answer?
Why wasn't he up on the list? Miz. He turned on R-Truth.
If I had the
correct.
answer, it wouldn't be a mystery.
Well, it's because it wasn't really a surprise heel turn. Really?
Doesn't matter. He did it anyway.
That's true. Hit us with the next one, please, John.
Justice.
He does. Okay, this guy here is the new president of TNA Wrestling, or of Anthem Sports. Mr. Carlos Silva has been named Anthem Sports president and will oversee TNA Wrestling and Invicta, I think is what that's called. Is that what that says?
Invicta, yes.
I'm not exactly sure what Invicta is. Maybe a college team?
That
Like
is
a
when you get arrested.
Well, it looks like a soccer field behind him, does it not?
Let me look it up.
That's when you get arrested and they evict you.
Damn
crime,
cough.
Right?
Can you hand me a cough drop, please?
Where?
Right up there. Goodness.
In that box.
Oh, Pack says Halls on it.
They're fucking.
I apologize, y'all. Frog in my throat.
From what I'm seeing, Invicta Fighting Championships, maybe?
Do what?
Or he either owns a store or there's this thing called Invicta Fighting Champion.
Okay, so he owns UFC fighting. I'm gonna guess probably like a Pride fighting. Yeah. It's a Bellator. What does it say?
What does that say?
A hockey team as well. He says they also own a hockey team. Okay, well, I knew he was a sports conglomerate of some sort. He is your new president of TNA Wrestling through Anthem Sports, or however you want to break that down. But, Carlos, welcome to professional wrestling. Your life will never be the same again.
Never.
Don't meet with Tony Khan. You'll develop a coke habit. Hit us with the next one, John. This is how to assert dominance in the men's room. Anybody know a person like this?
Yeah, I knew those guys.
Anyone have a kid or a friend that you go into the urinal in the bathroom and they pull their pants down around their ankles in the middle of a public restroom to take a piss?
Unfortunately.
That's what they're doing. They're establishing dominance. They need you to know that they need at least this much space. Also, I was almost confused why there was a woman standing at the urinal beside him until I realized those are baggy shorts.
Yeah, those are.
It looks like a dress.
If you look at it the right way.
Yeah, it looks like a dress up close. But anyway, I'm
if your eyes
at
work
least he
correctly,
didn't
you
miss,
can tell.
right? At least he didn't miss. I wonder if he has to shake his whole body. Never mind. Hit us with the next one, Big Bad John. The Chief Hunters is what's being passed around. The idea of Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre starting their own Shield in order to overthrow both sets of the Bloodline. Could be interesting. Could be really interesting. Also, next week's SmackDown has already been taped, which has Drew McIntyre coming face-to-face with Solo Sikoa's Bloodline. I don't know any more of that, and if I did, I wouldn't spoil it, obviously. But know that this isn't over yet.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this.
Of this grouping together? Well, don't worry about it, because I don't see Cody Rhodes, or I don't see Kevin Owens going to Raw. But I could be wrong. I'm not a real big fan of it, but then again, it does make sense.
Yeah.
The only reason people started hating Kevin is because he was mad that Cody started working with Roman Reigns again. It's the same reason why Drew McIntyre can't stand Roman Reigns or Jey Uso or Sami Zayn, is because he turned his back. Seth Rollins' biggest deterrent was he wasn't going to team with Roman Reigns, and CM Punk did, which proved that he's a piece of shit. It's all building for Shield 2.0. Then we'll have Bloodline 2.0 versus Shield 2.0, which you can't ever go back. You can't ever go wrong with like 9 sets of 2.0s. Not in professional wrestling. You know what I mean? Hit us with the next one, Big Bad.
Eventually, you got to hit 2.1.
Yeah. The old WWE Tower, the one infamously painted by DX in the Monday Night Last DX incarnation, sold $7.5 million.
Wow.
Titan Tower was the site of WWE headquarters and operations since the 80s. They had Money in the Bank there during 2020 when there was no fans. They decided to climb the entire building, put a ring on top of the building, and did Money in the Bank that way. One of the most innovative 2020 cinematic matches is what they called them. Cinematic matches due to the fact that it was both of the women's and men's Money in the Bank matches were going on at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So they would cut camera and go to this scene, and they cut camera and they go to this scene. And they made one big movie out of it, which was fantastic. But the infamous Titan Tower is no more.
It's a new era.
A new era. They are
It's a new
now,
day.
their building is further into Connecticut. It has a giant WWE championship sitting on the ground out front of it with a TKO UFC championship next to it. A lot of history in that building.
It's kind of sad.
It's the end. It's the last Vince McMahon era thing. Really. When you see Titan Tower, I think Vince McMahon's office with the giant Tyrannosaurus Rex head on the wall behind him.
Question.
Now, is that still there?
I believe it now resides in Triple H's office at the new building.
That big, giant WWE sign that sits on top of it.
Uh-huh. It's gone.
How much do you think that's going to sell for?
A lot.
Just that sign alone.
Do you think
They didn't sell it. They put it in
And
the
can
warehouse.
we get it and put it in the front yard? That'd be a great nightlight.
Right?
What? I put that on top of my house. Don't tease me with these things. Hit us with the next one, please. $7.5 million. I wish I had it. Speaking of things that I would hit, Miss 7 up there. Stormtrooper thinks
Not
he'd
with that
hit it,
stormtrooper.
but
On the contrary, you
you would in fact miss. This is fantastic,
You
Joe.
have to
That's
say it,
Tuvok.
say it like Tuvok.
Yes, live long and prosper.
On the contrary, you would in fact miss.
I wouldn't. God, Jerry Ryan's
7 of 9.
9 of 10, if you ask me. Hit me with the next one, Big Bad John.
More like 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Speaking of things that are 10 out of 10, Trick Willie bars.
Trick
You
Willie.
can own Trick Willie's Willie for $69.99, filled with cream
Only
filling. Only the
$69.99.
richest.
Only.
Only the
$69.99.
finest chocolate. The finest dark, creamy chocolate.
Is that dollars or doll hairs?
Doll hairs.
Doll hairs.
Okay, that's a little more affordable.
And it couldn't be 70 because 70 would be cost too much. But $69.98 would have been would have been enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you had to land on $69.99.
That is with tax because before tax it was $69.69.
Someone asked me actually
I was
if
thinking of that exactly.
someone asked me actually if the Trick Williams Willy Wonka bar come with nuts, and I said the biggest pair you'll ever see. Hit us with the next one, please. All right, we're going to get into some stuff. This is a debate with AI and technology. They have decided to take, we'll keep wide here, Johnny.
Yep.
To take wrestlers who have passed away, age them through AI to see kind of an idea of what they would look like if they were still alive. I found this process really fucking neat. A lot of it is spot on. I do have an image or two that people are leaving out, which I don't believe need to be left out. This one here is the Rowdy Scott, Mr. Rowdy Piper. Died of cancer. Was a very famous, in my opinion, he was a great actor.
Yes, I think so.
Now, do you believe that looks accurate?
I
Yes.
do. Absolutely.
I think,
do.
well, with the
From what I saw,
cancer
yeah.
that he had, I would expect, and his belly, the way it was towards the end, I would have expected his cheeks to maybe be a little fuller. But if he was still alive today, which would have meant he would have beaten cancer.
Mhm.
So his fullness would have come back. So I think it's accurate. I think it's one of the most accurate pictures that I'm going to show here is that one.
That looks like him if he was healthy.
Yes. Looking towards, looking on, watching his daughter wrestle. Hit us with the next one. Let's see who we got next. Andre the Giant.
I feel like he'd be more bold on top.
If you don't know who Andre the Giant is, I really don't know why you're watching this show.
I
And
think it
if
looks
you
pretty
are
accurate.
watching this show and don't know who that is, welcome.
They're probably like, why is the guy from
Princess Bride.
Princess
Yeah.
Bride on there here?
Yeah. Andre also played an episode of The Incredible Hulk where he played a Sasquatch. Which people forget there is an action figure by NECA that puts out the 6 million. No, it was The Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno. He was the villain. In one of the episodes, he was a Sasquatch. They sell an action figure of it in the movie line for WWE.
He's also in a movie called The Mommy Market.
Yes,
Remember that?
I sure do.
Played the strongman in the circus group.
Yep. Very, very famous face.
That was
that-
like right after Princess Bride.
I think that's perfect. I think that's exactly what I would imagine him looking
I
like.
think he'd have less hair
Maybe less hair from all
Like
those
up
years,
here?
but
Maybe, yeah.
on the top. I think he'd. still
he
have
would
the
probably
sides.
be bald by now. But like most people who start to lose their wrestlers, they usually just shave their head. All right, hit us with the next. The Ultimate Warrior.
He
The
doesn't-
line was only put on there, I'm guessing, to give you
Yeah.
the Ultimate Warrior in your head to see it in his face. I don't need that line. That looks just like the Ultimate Warrior. But
from-
that looks like the Ultimate Warrior of 1993. Because the Ultimate Warrior that passed away was A, he was more gray-headed than that. First off. B, his skin wasn't that
He looked sick.
texture anymore. You know what I mean? He had a
Yeah.
flat top. He had the
Uh-huh.
fucking goatee. He was a sickly man.
This looks like a
That
healthy
there
man.
is a man who is insanely healthy. But the
They-
facial features, I think they really got him down.
They probably made them all as healthy
But as big as the
Well,
Ultimate
yeah, I think
Warrior
they're good
was, it's kind of hard to find an old person who is that jacked. To be 100% honest, it's the Renegade. Stop it. All right. Anyway, here's the next one. We have Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. I'm not really happy with the making him fat. Everyone knows Mr. Perfect liked that booger sugar. However, very accurate on the face. It looks more like Raven than it looks like Kurt Hennig, if you ask me. And I did say Hennig with an NG, not a Hennig.
I heard you.
Bullshit. Here's with the next one. This is Chris Benoit,
Yes,
which I think is super accurate.
I believe so.
I believe that he would have also less hair on the top.
Yeah, well, he was already going bald when
Yeah,
he was.
but I feel like it should be more receded.
I think that's pretty close to what I can imagine him looking
using
like.
a hair treatment.
Good point. Good point.
Possibly. Wouldn't be the first time. Here's the next one. We have the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Macho Man.
Looks accurate to me.
The only problem I have with it is, again, his face looks too young. You can tell where they had to superimpose it.
Little, yeah.
Because when Macho Man passed away, he had a full head of hair pulled back in tied up in the back, and had a big Santa Claus beard. So his face was more rounded and stuff before he passed. So unless he really got on the shit, I don't think that his body and face would be that
Ragged.
young. The neck is terrible.
You gotta remember, how old would he have been now?
That's a good point, but at the same time, he wouldn't be that thick with like that. Hit us with the next one. Mr. Owen Hart. I think this is also one of the closest that really fit, if you ask me. Of course, obviously, we will never know.
He looks a little bit like Brett.
A little bit like Brett. What does that say at the bottom there?
Superimpose my balls on your forehead.
No, I'm gonna assume that's Caleb.
Yeah, it's totally Caleb. He's not a nugget. Hit us with the next one. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie was already going gray-headed at the time of his passing, so this is very accurate.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
would have been very accurate now. A little wider, maybe, in his places. That depends on if he was still wrestling. You know, if he decided to go all white
Shave.
or shave. You know, yeah. But I think that's the last one of the superimposed faces. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. Don't forget to check the merch store. You can buy the whistle. You can whistle while you work, but I cannot see that. I got to put
You
my
can
glasses
whistle
on.
while you work, but you can't
Cry when you
twerk
twerk.
Cry when you twerk. There it is. I can see it now.
Yeah.
Don't forget, the shirts are in 6 different colors. I think you said.
They're multiple colors, yeah.
Multiple colors. We have the hologram sticker of Torque and Terry. They're showing all of his goods to everybody. Hanukkah's coming up.
Can you twerk while you work?
As long as you're not crying while you do it. Although a lap dance is so much better when the stripper's crying. Don't forget to come to the merch store. Save all your dollars.
I
Don't
don't
go to
work
the
at a
strip
strip
club.
club.
Come and buy Torque and Terry t-shirt, sticker, also t-shirts, hats. You name it, it is available.
We've got all
Christmas
kinds of
presents, Valentine's Day
Buy our
presents,
shit.
Rockashawn Day.
Shauna. What?
Yeah, inflatable, wacky waving, inflatable tube man day. There's all occasions out there. Pro
Do
Wrestling
we have a
Throwdown.
menorah for like the 8 crazy days of Christmas?
Well, I want 8 Hanukkah presents, 8 of them.
Yeah.
All t-shirts in
Yeah,
different
Hanukkah.
colors. Be
8
sure to
crazy
check
nights.
us out. Streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown for all your Pro Wrestling Throwdown merch needs.
All of it.
Hit us with the next one, Big Bad John. Cody Rhodes brings back the Winged Eagle. I just wanted to see the Winged Eagle one more time. I really care that he's in this picture or not. That belt is gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
Drooling on myself
Yes, it is.
just thinking about
Yeah.
it.
I think it
cried
looked better
last
with
night.
Kevin Owens holding it though.
Better on my waist.
Well, I'd probably sell it for the money it's worth, but.
Well, after it would be.
After I slept for
it would definitely be used. Let's just put it that way. Hit us with the next one, Big Bad John. Brian Kendrick wins his first heavyweight championship since leaving the WWE, his first main level heavyweight championship.
Wow. He looks way different than
Spanky is old. He also believes that the earth is flat and that women should stay in the kitchen. That's what got him.
Go converse with Caleb.
That's what got him released.
Caleb would have had fun with him.
That's what got him released in the first place.
Yeah,
Brian
Caleb would have
Kendrick
had fun with that one.
believes in all different kinds of crazy things. Unfortunately,
He's wrong.
he's wrong on all of them, even the lizard people. But hit us with the next one. Congratulations, Brian Spanky Kendrick. Fan who slapped Eddie Edwards at the TNA Final Resolution pay-per-view last night was turned over to local authorities. He reached out after his drink was knocked out of his hand by Eddie Edwards to slap the professional wrestler across the face, eat one of the stiffest slaps back that I have ever seen in my life. It was a receipt with copies. Then was taken out by security, turned over to whomever was in the back, then turned over to local police. This man's, you're looking at charges of assault, intent, numerous things they can get this man with. Here's the deal, folks. You don't go to a play and pick a kid up off the stage and slap him. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no difference between this and live theater.
What if they cry about, but the drink was in my hand? And they slapped it out
the hand and the drink were clearly over the
first.
safety barricade. Therefore, you were already against the rules. You're not even really supposed to stand and lean over it to begin with, let alone an alcoholic beverage that can be spilled, leaving a wrestler to slip or not be able to perform a dive to catch and result in Jeff Kinging yourself. I would have slapped back myself. Here's the deal: Eddie Edwards did nothing wrong. This dude's gonna see criminal charges before it's over, and probably never be able to be allowed back to a TNA show, which is a shame because TNA's gotten really interesting within the last couple of months.
They may just leave him off with a ban and.
Oh no, they're gonna press charges.
Oh, you think?
Oh yeah, it was on national television. You're gonna press charges.
Well, you never know.
You don't let a drunk fan you don't let a fan like that do that and not press charges.
How about we follow this and see where it goes?
Also the local police, if he didn't, the local police would push the subject.
Probably. Because it was on TV.
Not only on TV, but it was a performer who was slapped, and alcohol was involved. And kids were involved.
Yeah.
Kids in that audience.
That man did not.
No, he didn't. He thought he was a badass, and he learned real quick that Eddie Edwards doesn't play.
You do not go to a wrestling show thinking you are a badass.
Eddie Edwards is not the man to slap in the face. Not if you don't know. If you're not willing to get slapped back, you should have done it in the first place. The look on his face pisses me off. Can you go wide again?
He's smiling, isn't he?
Hey, look at the smirk.
He thinks he's funny.
Yeah, he thinks he's being funny.
That guy in the back is like, oh, hell no.
Like,
look at the referee's eye behind Eddie Edwards.
Oh, yeah. She's like, oh.
That like the black gentleman back there is like, oh, shit.
The white guy in the back is like, oh, he does.
It's Tyson fight. Let's do this. Anyway, turned over to local police. We will follow the story. If we can get any information, we will return that to you. Hit us with the next one, Big Bad John. That's it. That's the show. Shitter's full.
I love it.
Shitter's full. Is that how we do that?
I like that.
Thank you all for joining us on this fantastic Sunday afternoon as we bring you the best in professional wrestling news and funny shit from around the world. We will return with videos next week, or next show. As the holidays get closer, it's going to be a determination of whether or not.
Who knows what day we'll even
We don't know. You watch social media, you will find out if shows are going or canceled. You will see us again before the end of the year. I do promise you that. With that said, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Spend it with loved ones. Don't let shit get to you too much over the holidays. It's
Remember
better
to put your shit in the shitter.
It's better to just kind of enjoy yourself and try to enjoy the holidays as best as you can. From all of us at Pro Wrestling Throwdown, we wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Rock Hashan Day. All except Bill Goldberg. He's
Fuck
not
Bill
allowed.
Goldberg.
Bret Hart told me.
Feliz Navidad.
As for that, 2024 has been a crazy year. Been a lot of crazy shit take place.
Yes, it has.
Been a lot of wrestling news. Been a lot of personal journeys taking place. Been a lot of changes to the show. We expect more changes as we go forward into the new year. New shows, new ideas, new mentions, new stuff. We're gonna get into a whole bunch more fun things.
Lots of new things.
But thank you, Brother Derek. We appreciate that. As always, from us to you, happy holidays and keep it in.
Keep it in the ring.